us and my grandbaby. Everybody's here. It's going to be a great show. We're going to have a really good time. I hope you're all excited to meet Sean and hear about how cool it is to be Sean Hansen. I think it's got to be pretty cool to be Sean Hansen and to have such a beautiful little baby girl. Life is good, isn't it, Sean?
Yes, it is.
Okay, gang, that's my son Sean. That's my grandbaby Zaya, and we're up here at their beautiful home in beautiful South Lake Tahoe. We got the mom behind the camera trying to keep Zaya happy and make her smile to be on the show. Jules doing her very, very best. I want to say hello to everybody out there who's watching the show today. This should be pretty cool. Sean's gonna talk a little bit about what it was like growing up as my son, and we're gonna answer your questions. Anybody that has questions, you can text them to the show at 949-374-0786, and we'll get going here in just a few minutes. Gang, everybody, thank you so much for watching and being a part of this show every day. We appreciate it. Zaya is super excited to be on the show today, right, Zaya? Right?
Come hands.
Yay, clap your hands. Tell everybody how excited you are to be on the show today. Yay. There you go. Woo-hoo. Look at her. She's so excited. She can't believe she's actually on a live podcast at almost 11 months old. Look at her. She's like a superstar. Yeah, you're the star. We know you are. You are the star of the show. Gang, remember you can text the show if you have any questions you want to ask Sean. 949-374-0786. Sean's super excited to be here. He is so excited to be a part of the show. Gang, John Stanley already has a question. Eventually, we all end up quoting our parents on things that they say. What is something your dad always told you when you were growing up that you now say it to other people?
Little boy looks just like you. I mean, so many things. I don't know. Jewel catches me saying stuff all the time.
Goodbye,
just
Zaya.
like your dad.
She's over it. Yeah, you talk just like me.
Mm-hmm.
When you guys go to the bar and see Sean working, you can see him. He's doing the Davisms all day at the bar. He's a great bartender, gang. Where do you work?
Hard Rock Hotel and Casino, Lake Tahoe.
Yeah, what do you do there?
Bartend. But actually, going to be switching this.
How'd you get into that?
I was a janitor. I don't know.
You showed up?
Worked there for almost 9 years now. Started there as a janitor, worked my way up.
You applied for any job available, didn't you? And they put you in as a janitor. How long were you a janitor?
6 months.
Were you?
Yeah.
You're a janitor for 6 months, and they saw your work ethic, and they decided that maybe you should work in the restaurant.
Right as I turned 21, I started bartending.
Wow. And how old are you now?
29.
Holy, are you really?
Yeah.
I had no idea how old you were. Gee, that's amazing, isn't it? That he's that old already. So what brought you to Lake Tahoe? Why didn't you stay down in Southern California and work for Grandpa or work in the industry, in the fishing industry?
Wanted to snowboard.
You wanted to snowboard?
And I wanted to bartend at a casino.
Did you ever work on the boats, though?
Here and there with you, yeah, a lot.
Yeah. Was that fun?
Liquid Coast Highway, The Office. Shit, I don't know. All the boats we ran.
Wild and Sack.
Mercedes.
Yeah. You got to fish.
Mm-hmm.
Did you like fishing?
Yeah, I love fishing.
Was fishing fun?
Yeah.
Did you ever catch anything?
You know, kind of. Pretty much you name it, we caught it.
Got to do a delivery a couple of times with me, right? Taking some boats up from Cabo.
That's how I got my first car. Yeah, first delivery on the Bulldogger, I think, right? It's not the Bulldogger?
Yeah, Bull. That was, oh my gosh, that was from Ensenada.
Mm-hmm.
Tell everybody about that story. What did we do? How did we get to Ensenada? Do you remember?
Took the trolley or something, right?
We took the train.
With Grayson, was that one?
Yeah. We took the train to Tijuana.
Mm-hmm.
And then we walked across the border, got into a taxi, and then had the taxi take us down to the corral in Ensenada.
Mr. Toad's Wild Ride all the way down. I remember that.
In the middle of the night, jumped on the boat and drove it to Huntington Beach.
Mm-hmm.
How about that delivery we did on the sailboat?
That was horrible. Just used the trolling motor, the little harbor motor the whole way.
We, oh my gosh, how old were you then? You were little.
14 maybe, probably a little younger.
Yeah?
And
Speak up a
12
little.
to 14, somewhere in that range.
And we took a sailboat from San Diego Bay to Long Beach.
Mm-hmm.
And we got to find out how hard it is to sail, huh?
We didn't even try. We didn't even attempt. We just put that little harbor motor on and went.
And it was such a long trip. It took us like a day and a half to get from San Diego to Long Beach. And then what
we
happened?
Started sinking. I remember that.
Then we started to sink.
I don't know. Bilge stopped working, and it was all bad.
Bilge pump quit working. Then we ran out of gas.
Got towed in the rest of the way.
Got towed into Long Beach. That was a fun time, huh?
It's not the word I would describe it, but yes, it was an experience.
You and me, we've been around a little bit. We've seen some stuff, huh?
Yeah, I would say so.
Remember lobster fishing?
Yeah.
Going lobster fishing in the middle of the night during school?
Bringing my homework on the boat?
Doing your homework under a flashlight on the deck of the boat on our old
Nab one.
The Nab one, yeah.
Yeah.
Did we catch any lobsters?
Way too many.
So what was it like? Let's see, we got questions.
Fun, entertaining.
Yeah? Tom, do you know a guy named Tom DeGregory? Tom DeGregory? Okay, we got a question from one of my longtime buddies, old-time friend. Sean, how does it feel to be a father? Also, what was David's expression when he found out that you were going to be a dad?
Honestly, it's the best feeling ever. I love it. It's a lot of work, but it's fun. My dad was the first person I told, and he cried right away. And yeah, he was there with me right as we had Zaya, and yeah, we both hugged, and it was awesome. And he's been there ever since, you know. He's always been there for me. Now he's here for Zaya, so it's awesome. It's fun. I'm loving it. It's a good time. You're just always doing something, though. No more sleeping in and being lazy.
That's for sure, huh?
Mm-hmm.
If you want to do it right, right?
Mm-hmm. What do they say? It's only hard to be a parent if you're a good parent, you know, but it's fun.
Sean, this is from our good friend John Stanley. What's the coolest thing you've seen your dad do that made you think yourself, my dad's a badass?
I mean, honestly, lately when he's been going down to the remote areas in Mexico and flying his drone and doing all that cool stuff, I'm like, that's pretty cool. A lot of people don't get to see that in their whole life, you know, and he's doing it almost every other week. And it's like, it's pretty cool. And I want to do it, but we got to get little Zaya her passport, and then we'll be down there with him soon. So that's pretty cool, seeing what he's been doing when he moved to Mexico and doing all that, because growing up, it was always normal to me to be on boats and doing all this stuff and all that, but now it's going down to Mexico. It's pretty cool and pretty fun to go see all that stuff. And La Paz, swim with the whale sharks. That stuff's awesome because people don't do that every day.
When you were little, though, remember I left the industry? I didn't fish.
Yeah, you're working for Freeman.
I set up trade shows for a living so I could be there for you guys. And
yeah. We would still fish a little bit. We had the Nab one and stuff.
But remember,
I was terrified to go out.
The first time I took you out on a boat I
would only go out with Junior. I don't know if you guys all know Junior, Max. I would only go on the boat if Max was driving. And my dad would be the deckhand because I was probably 8 or something, though. But I don't know. I never saw my dad really drive a boat, so I was super scared. Now I'm like, I'm only going on a boat if my dad's driving, so it's pretty funny.
When you were little and we went out on the skiff by ourselves the very first time, I'll never forget the look on your face. You were so scared, and I was like, Sean, what are you afraid of? And then you told me, oh, there's no one here. Who's going to take care of the boat? Who's going to drive? What if something bad happens? Because, gang, you need to understand, and this kind of stuff makes me cry. When my kids were born, I promised my ex-wife and I promised myself that they were not going to grow up without me being there all the time. So I left the sport fishing industry completely. I walked away from it and I went to work in the trade show industry. That kind of was like a set schedule where I went to work at 8 o'clock in the morning. I got home at 4:30 in the afternoon. The trade show didn't break. It did. You didn't need to get it fixed before you went out the next day. I didn't miss any games. I watched you play every sport you played. I was there
And you
every single
coached and
game.
refed and all that.
I was the coach, the ref. I left the sport fishing industry completely, and I just raised you guys until you guys were 16 and 18, and that's when I went back to fishing for a living. And I'll never forget the first time you and I went fishing. You were so scared because you had no idea where the world I came from, because I literally left that world that I had done for my
Setting
whole
up
entire
trade shows.
childhood. And then
That
Sean
was
and
still fun though too.
you guys got to come and hang out with me at the trade shows.
Do
We
the
got
gymnastics trade shows and all those. Those were fun.
we got to do a lot of really fun stuff growing up as kids. You see any good questions there?
Where does your baby's name come from? Zaya? Zaya, so Jewel and I were thinking we wanted a unique name. We almost named her Willow, but then we know a Willow. And then we wanted a Z name. And then Zaya is actually a type of rum alcohol, but we didn't know that at the time. But it means honest and hope. And we just liked the name Zaya and a little Zay Zay, so we just liked it. Zaya Marie Hansen, so little Zay Zay. And we've actually met like 5 other Zayas since. It's pretty funny how that works. But yeah, we just kind of picked it and liked it, so that's where it came from, really. What else we got?
Oh, this guy says, "Wow, Sean, you missed so much of what your dad is really good at." Growing up, not fishing with me.
Well, he was a good coach and a good ref, so that was fun,
But I wanted to make sure that I was there. Not that I wanted to make sure you guys played all the time, but I just didn't want somebody putting their agenda onto my children. I wanted to be the one that put the agenda on you guys, made you grow up as men, right? Who does your friends call when it's time to change their tire? Who does your friends call when it's time to work on their cars? They call you guys, right? They call you or Zach, and you guys show up. You know how to change a tire. You know how to fix stuff. You know how to do stuff. It's pretty wild, huh? And you know you're a man. You never thought maybe you would have been a woman.
We're going down this way.
No, we're not. I'm just being me. I'm just being me. It was cool though, watching you grow up. It was pretty special. I really am so glad that I did that and I wasn't stuck on a boat in the middle of the ocean while you guys were being raised.
Yep. Same here.
So, we got any other questions, gang? Listen, if you guys send us your questions, we'll read them on air. If you send them to 949-374-0786, Sean and I will do our best to answer. I told him a lot of you guys would be asking questions, so don't let me down. It took a lot for me to get him on here right now because he's trying to clean his house, get ready for a fun day. We're going to be going out to the lake today and doing some fun stuff.
Skunk Harbor.
So I got him on here to the show, so don't let us down. Make sure you bring it. Okay. Bring it. Read it out loud.
To get my dad to drink again, that would never happen. Some of my best friends up here have been sober for 5, 6, 8 years, so I don't force that on anybody. It's like I drink here and there, but yeah, to make somebody drink again, no. Get them an O'Doul's or something. Like, no, it's not my.
Now I'd rather have a glass of chocolate milk. I did.
Did you ever win a game as your dad ref? Just no, but Danny Dixon.
Oh my gosh, that is the greatest.
So one of my best friends, Danny Dixon, I grew up with him. Still one of his best friends. So we were in Cub Scouts together. We played on soccer teams together and everything. And I think Danny and I were playing against each other, and my dad was a ref. And Danny was so offsides, but my dad is just cheering for Danny to go, and he scored a goal, and the whole sideline's pissed at my dad because he missed the call, and he was high-fiving Danny, and it was pretty funny. But yeah, never my benefit. But yeah, Danny got one though. That was funny.
That was a terrible day. Oh my God, that's when I found out I don't want to be a ref because, oh my gosh, they act like you're getting paid millions of dollars to ref the game. And I was doing it all volunteer, trying to be the best dad I could possibly be.
Yeah, I mean, we were probably 12 to 14 in that range too. It's not too serious, but it was fun. How is the relationship now that you see each other as your own adults with your own family and your own views? I mean, me and my dad have always had a pretty strong relationship, so I mean, it's cool now. I don't think much has changed. It's more, I have more respect for my dad for sure when it comes to now I have my own daughter and the sacrifices he had to make and all that. So that has changed, but our relationship has always been strong, you know? Just my view of that towards him is like, oh yeah, you got to give up what you like to say about fishing. Like, he had to give that up to go work in a shitty warehouse so he could be around us. Like, that's a pretty crazy sacrifice. So, you know, and I do my best to be around my daughter every single day. So it's fun. But yeah, me and my dad have always been good. He's the first person I call when I wake up pretty much. So yeah, we could talk to him every day. So yeah, our relationship's always strong.
And what's the promise we made to each other when we were little?
What?
We don't ever hang up before we say something.
Love you.
Ever.
It's kind of weird. Yeah, my friends are always like, you always say you love you to your dad? I'm like, yeah, I mean, love
always.
Like, that's what we do. I mean, yeah.
We do not hang up the phone without saying it. It's the most important part of our conversation every day. John Stanley has another question. How has your dad embarrassed you in front of your friends?
I mean, I don't really get that embarrassed, but I don't even think he tries. He just does stuff sometimes. But there's been so many times in growing up, but I'm just so used to it, and it's like I don't really get embarrassed. Mainly with like waiters and stuff.
What about the Grunion story?
Oh, well, I'm sure we've all heard this story, but it was my dad has a little. Well, now it's a black truck, but a little first generation 4Runner. A little manual stick shift car. It's probably 11 o'clock at night with 4 of my friends jammed in the back of the car. And yeah, we didn't eat. We ate fast food the night before or that day or something. And my dad had to pull over right in San Juan, that old little dump area. And he didn't put the e-brake on. And he went to pop a squat outside. And the car started rolling. So he jumped back in the car and he took a squat in the car and with all the kids. So that was pretty embarrassing. I mean, that was more funny to me because we were all dying, but I wasn't really embarrassed. You know, I don't really get embarrassed of my dad. It's everyone, if you know him, you know how he is. So it's like, whatever. I don't get embarrassed though. What else we got?
Kid says, Captain Dave, this is John from San Diego. You have been a fishing captain for over 40 years. What is the most catastrophic boat failure you have endured over the years? Taking on water, losing all power, etc. The worst thing that I've ever been a part of was we were delivering a 65-foot marquee yacht from San Diego to Seattle, Washington. And we got caught off of Point Sur in 25 to 30 knots of wind and 12 to 15 foot seas with like 9 seconds between them. And we had our radar dome ripped out, the front windows blown out of the boat. This was right before the internet really got going and you could read weather ahead of time and stuff. And we got caught with our pants down, and it was a very, very scary time. It was one of the times I wish I was not a captain at the time. I tell that story all the time. That was one of the times I wish I wasn't the captain because everything was about me. Everything was about me getting us back into the harbor, and we ended up coming into Monterey with no radar in the middle of the night. It was a pretty terrifying situation. That's probably the most catastrophic thing I've been involved in. As far as a boat sinking, Sean and I were on that sailboat that time. We were taking on water. We were never in fear of sinking though. But when you're little and we got a dad like me, I can make it sound pretty scary, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, guys, 949-374-0786 is the number. If you want to win that free t-shirt today, you're going to get a shirt just like the one I'm wearing. We're going to give one shirt away to one lucky texter that gives us a good question of what's up. I had a quick question. Is there a Pacific depth I should be looking for yellowtail when I'm fishing in La Jolla, or just anywhere few and far between? All right, well, first of all, you want to be a member of our website, Fabian, which you are. Right now on the game plan, I got some really cool inside information from a couple of my buddies that do water samples for California that were out there yesterday. Basically the same area you're talking about. And I got some really good information. So you want to make sure you check out the game plan today at 3:30. It'll come out. The information they had to share with me was really good. And I think you guys will have a real good chance of getting one tomorrow if you follow the game plan. But that yellowtail roaming around that 100 foot of water that seemed to be the area for the last 25, 30 years to look around in, San Clemente Island, Catalina, along the coast, that 100 foot of water seems to be the best area to look. That seems to be where the most bait concentrates. That seems to be where that squid seems to concentrate. So that's what I would think would be the best area to look. Sean, tell us about the first fish you ever caught with your dad.
I don't know.
Remember on the skiff when we used to catch fish, you used to name them.
Oh yeah, the little tiny ones.
Yeah, well, using a little.
I probably wasn't the first, probably calico bass or something. I don't know, sculpin.
Oh my gosh,
sculpin a lot.
I know a good story. Tell them about the time Zach and I were diving for scallops and we left you on the boat by yourself.
Oh yeah, that was when I was a young kid too.
You wouldn't touch them?
I don't like touching the fish when I was little, so I didn't like to gill them or anything like that.
But he touched the bait, no problem.
Yeah, I could grab that, but then I would just pull it up and cut it off. I knew how to tie hooks all day, so I would just cut it and just tie a new hook, throw it back in. Just so Dad got on the boat, and I probably had 15 of them out there laid on the deck. All the hooks in the mouth, the string hanging out still, because I didn't want to touch them.
He had 32 bass on the deck. He says 15. This was back in the day when you could keep 10. Zach and I were diving. We were getting scallops, and we got 1 million scallops. We had so many scallops, but we left Sean on the boat all by himself, and he literally had 32 legal calico bass. The whole deck of the boat was covered in calicos. He had more than his limit, but he didn't know what his limit was. But he had 50 hooks, because that's how many came in the box. He was almost out of hooks, and thank God when I got on the boat, a couple of the bass were still alive, so I threw them back. But that's what was going on that day.
Didn't it start that day too? Was that the one?
Yeah, we couldn't get the boat started.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we had a lot of fun.
By the grace of God, it started because I didn't have the kill switch in. Remember? And I was panicking because you
had to go pick us up. We had
you couldn't swim. And
we had too many scallops and we were out of air.
You guys were just dying, hanging out, and you're like, "Come get me!" I pulled that anchor like 7 times in 3 minutes. And
couldn't get the boat started.
I had the kill switch out, but I don't know why it started, but it started. It's pretty crazy. Someone was looking after him because Zach was going down.
He had so many scallops.
I would have just dropped them.
And he was not going to let go of them because we love to eat seafood. And yeah, I'm a crazy dad. How about the first time I took you to Catalina and that sunfish?
Oh. Well, that's a good one because your buddy just said, Sean, what was the worst practical joke your dad pulled on you? I mean, there's been so many, but I remember when I was young, we used to live in Trabuco Canyon, and he would go and turn off the lights of the cars and say, "We just ran out of gas. I'm gonna walk out and get you."
Don't tell this story.
No. He would bang on the windows and scare the hell out of me. But no, and we jump on the sunfish, so we pull up Catalina or something. But yeah, I don't know where we were.
We were
And
on
the
our way to
sunfish,
Catalina.
yeah, and there's a big old sunfish. He's like, get up on the front and look at it, look at it. And just throws me in right on top of it. And yeah, I was panicked. I was running on water, getting out of there.
Your eyes were like
I mean,
gigantic.
there's been
And that was when Sean learned he could walk on water.
there's been a lot, but
Okay, we got Brad from Cincinnati. Sean, what do you think of your dad's success on social media and his website and the engagement you get per month on each platform?
I think it's pretty crazy because I don't even do social media really. Like, it's crazy. It's cool to see my dad doing it because, I mean, I don't know if you guys have been following my dad for that long, but, you know, back in the day, the fishing videos of Catalina, he kind of already started that before it was a thing. And now he's just kind of doing it on a new level and just having his website. I think it's awesome. I think it's cool. So I get to spend more time with him. He can come up to Tahoe, hang out with me for a week. We can extend it if he wants. So I think it's awesome to give him the freedom and get to share all of his stuff with you guys. So it's fun.
Okay, this is Jeff Lopez from Riverside. Hey, Sean, was your dad being a dad when you were growing up, or was he trying to be your friend?
Definitely being a dad, but it was more of a, we were both open book with each other. So it was like, we always say we're not going to do what the other can't do, you know? So it was always, we're always going to be open with each other what we're going to do, you know? And he was definitely a friend, but he was more of a dad, you know? Like, I could talk to him about anything, but he would give me the right stuff. I mean, back me up with anything, but yeah, he would mentor me through life. So that was fun. But yeah, he was, you know, I never had to hide anything from him, though. And I think that's how it should be, you know?
Wow, this is crazy. All right, John Stanley wants to know. Yeah, I love you.
How do you describe your dad to someone that doesn't know him? Outspoken, loud, confident, loving. I don't know. Give the shirt off your back. I always saw that with all his friends. He always did everything for all his buddies. I won't name names, but yeah, like, they'll come stay with us for a while. Like, you know, it's kind of how we all grew up, and like, so just compassion for people and stuff. So that's kind of always how he's been, and he's given that to me, and I think my brother too. So, you know, it's cool. So yeah, definitely loving and outspoken and, you know, charismatic. I don't know.
This is Joe from Los Angeles. Sean, he wants to know, what was the most memorable fishing
Sean,
trip you had?
does it hurt your feelings that your dad loves Marley more than you? What? I hope not. I mean, I don't know. I think he's known me for a little longer than Marley. I don't bite your fingers, but
What was your most memorable fishing trip with your dad?
Probably going down to Cabo. You, Jeff, and who was it?
Chase
Yeah.
and Brian.
And Brian, yeah, Brian. Love Brian. He's a funny man.
When we
he
delivered,
just did a big trip too. But yeah,
we took 7 days to deliver the wild and sack down to Cabo, and it was probably some of the most insane fishing.
Sharks all around you. That was a fun day too. Yeah, wide open tuna.
Remember
So that
how
was
I
probably the
woke
most
you up?
memorable one.
Remember how I woke you up in the morning, that third morning?
Screaming at like 5 a.m, right at sunbreak, and then just full on tuna
Yellowfin
bite.
tuna, as many as you could catch, literally. As many as you could catch.
I wasn't even awake yet. I saw one eye open, and I'm just bent on a rod. I'm like, okay, here we go. Like, it was fun. That was a good trip. That was probably the funnest trip. I mean, there's been so many, but that one, because that was a boat delivery, we're all just out there together, just hanging out, all friends. So
no bosses.
Yeah, that was the really fun one.
Just loving life on $1 million yacht
Mm-hmm.
for 7 days in the middle of the ocean.
Hanging out with Jeff and Chase, and that was fun. That was a good one.
Remember you grabbed that marlin? Oh yeah. You still have
Oh,
the
you can
scar on
see
it.
my It was probably our fifth marlin of the day, and it's right at sundown, and my dad's like, "Oh, we went to go grab the gloves to bill it and like pop the hook," and but he said, "No, no, no, you don't need your gloves. You don't need your gloves." And I was had a couple tequilas, and I was just like, "I got this." No, as soon as you touched it, it just shredded me all the way down. That was bad. I thought we were gonna get fish poisoning. We're 2-3 days away from Cabo, and
But we
yeah, it
poured
was
a
pretty,
lot of bleach on it
yeah,
and a lot of tequila on
we
it.
fixed it. But yeah,
Got
that
it
was a
all
scary
fixed
one.
up. Brian wants to know what's my favorite reel for rooster and fish and bass fishing. And it's always going to be a Kuma. In the Komodo series, the 300 size Komodo is going to be your go-to for rooster fish fishing. And then the smaller Komodos for bass fishing. And the drag system on there is smooth as silk. It works really good, Brian. It's always going to be an Akuma product. That's my favorite reels to use. I love those. Sean, do you have a favorite fish story your dad always embellishes? We don't really need to embellish because our stories are so incredibly unbelievable that
I mean,
people don't believe them anyway.
lobster fishing. I mean, down in Newport or something, Jurassic Park, that area. But
Long Beach,
I mean,
catching giant
Long
lobsters.
Beach.
But we really don't have to embellish because most people won't even believe what we've done,
Yeah.
right? They can't even comprehend.
No, that's what I was saying. He gets to do stuff that people don't get to do for their whole lives, and he's doing it every other week. So it's pretty cool.
Oh my gosh. Yes, I do. I'm Sean, I'll tell you, I am a super emotional human being. Everything matters. Like I say about fishing, everything matters. Sean and I have a conversation when we're driving in the car, and he's looking at me and go, "You're crying again."
Yeah, he does that. Commercials, all that stuff. He's always been emotional, and he gave that to me a little bit when Zaya was first born. Oh my gosh,
That was a
we
brutal
were
day.
both crying so hard. But
That was a pretty crazy day.
mm-hmm.
What's the coolest benefit to having me as your dad?
I mean, yeah, you guys think it's gonna be about fishing and stuff like that, but no, having him as a dad was awesome because he's always there. He's always anything I need, I call my dad, and he's gonna do it for me. Like help me out of a bind, do whatever. So that's true. Yeah, I get to do all this cool fishing stuff, but no, he's a great dad before that first. So I would say him being just an awesome person and a dad and caring and loving. That's the main thing. That's the coolest part about him being my dad. But then I get to go to Cabo and swim whale sharks and catch whatever I want, do all that and get to show Jewel. I've been with Jewel for a long time. She's never seen a whale or a dolphin until she was with me. And then a year into our relationship, she's swimming with bottlenose dolphins and grabbing whale sharks and stuff. So, yeah, we get to do cool stuff, but no, he's the best dad ever first, so that's the best thing.
Steve and Grayson are watching.
I built that. Sean Dave, it's Stephen Gray. LOL. Oh, what up, guys? Yeah, Grayson was on when we went down to the Ensenada trip. That's him
Grayson
right
kind
there.
of grew up with us too. Grayson
Yeah.
got to do a lot of really cool stuff.
Taking him out of school.
Oh
up,
my
Gray?
gosh. I'll tell you what. If my kids were in school today, it would be terrible because I wouldn't put up with any of the bullshit going on today in these schools. And Sean can tell you, we didn't put up with any of the bureaucracy bullshit at school. We never did. I was there all the time. I would make those teachers and I'd make those principals stand up a little bit straighter. We weren't letting their agendas into our life or our family. And you might not agree totally with the way I handled it, but I tell you what, my kids turned out pretty spectacular, and that's because I'm a hands-on human. I believed it mattered. One thing about my father was My father was super old school. So my dad was really not hands on. He was not there. He was building a phenomenal business and an unbelievable legacy. But as far as the being there as a dad part, that wasn't there so much in my childhood. It was a lot more better for my sister because my dad was a little bit older then when Donna came along. And so she had a much better relationship with the old man than I did. But I just vowed to myself that I would never let that occur with my boys. That's why I quit my favorite thing in the world, fishing, and left that industry to go raise my boys. Sean, what's a favorite memory with your dad that has nothing to do with fishing?
Favorite memory? I mean, we're still making them right now, but I don't know. There's been a lot, but shit, I don't know.
We'll have
Doesn't
to
have
get
anything to do
back
with
to you on
fishing.
that
I
one.
mean, we always go camping, but we're fishing when we're camping too. So I don't know. A lot of stuff has to revolve around fishing too, but shit, I don't know. We'll get back to you on that one. I gotta think about that.
Dave, are you grateful for your sobriety and do you believe God's grace has shined on you? Absolutely, Daniel. And I know I'm not trying to preach. That's not, it's attraction rather than promotion. Yeah, I've been sober for 35 years. My kids have never seen me drink. They've never seen me hammered. They've never seen me not be able to handle a situation. And I pride myself on that. I don't judge anybody. I don't really care what anybody else does. I made a decision 35 years ago to turn my will and my life over to a higher power, which I choose to call God. You call it whatever you want. I don't care what you call it. It's got nothing to do with nothing. But I believe in my heart that if I kept on the same path that I was on back then, and there's a lot of people watching the show that knew me back in the old days, I'll guarantee you we wouldn't be sitting here with Sean right now. I guarantee you I wouldn't be on this planet. There was no way I was going to live any longer if I didn't get sober. And I do believe that that higher power has graced me with a phenomenal life and a phenomenal family. And yeah, and I owe it all to my sobriety, period. End of story. There's nothing else. And I don't, like I said, I don't judge you. The one thing that that doesn't make sense to me is when people come up to me that I haven't seen for a while and they go, "Hey, Dave, I haven't had a drink for like," I don't care. I don't care what you're doing. That's about you and your life. You don't need to tell me. You don't have to justify why you're drunk or why you're doing what you're doing. That has nothing to do with us. I know what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. And it's the reason why. What do you got? You got a
Dad,
question up there?
have you done any diaper duty since you've been in town? He will
Yeah.
be. He's babysitting tomorrow. So
Tomorrow night, the
tomorrow night after
Sean
4 o'clock.
and Jewel are both working, and I'm going to be here with baby Zaya by myself.
So you better be on baby duty.
So I don't know if Zaya's going to be wearing a poopy diaper all night or not. We'll see. It's
No,
all
she
going to
won't
be
be.
revealed. I've never, ever, ever changed a little girl's diaper. I didn't have any girls, so this will be the first time.
Do you go fly fishing with your dad up there? Yeah, I mean, first time he came up here, we went to Markleyville and fly fished. That was fun. That was when I got off a 24-hour flight and straight to Markleyville.
From Europe.
Yeah.
You went straight from Europe to here, and we went fly fishing all day.
And then I went straight to work.
And then he went to work
I
with
went to work
0.0 sleep. But that's kind of how we grew up. Sean always saw that work ethic that I had, and Sean keeps that same work ethic going.
That's
now
why we're sitting in this beautiful home
with Zaya. They own a house here in Lake Tahoe that I
Brand new.
literally can walk down the street right here. I can walk down the street, and in 2 minutes, I can be standing on the edge of Lake Tahoe. My son and his wife own a house in Lake Tahoe. How rad is that? That's pretty special. That's pretty spectacular.
Mm-hmm. And brand new. Do you like to eat fish? Yeah, I mean, I grew up eating fish my whole life, but Albacore is my favorite, hands down. But yeah, my fiance Jewel, she is the general manager of a sushi restaurant, so I eat fish pretty much every day still. The Naked Fish, you guys should check it out. It's awesome.
You got another question
I
there
don't know.
from Brian? No? Oh, all right. We got Dave Burris just wants you to know that your grandpa
Mm-hmm.
taught him how to fish, and it was tough learning to fish from your grandpa when he was running the boats. However, he still taught with a caring hand.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Papa was a big deal in your life. Make sure you wear gloves when you change baby Zaya's diaper.
That's
Okay.
what I thought. I would have to wear gloves and a mask and all that, and now it's like it's a little pit stop. Now I'm like, you're good.
Let me tell you something. If I took this glass of water and took a sip out of it,
It's yours now.
when Sean was little, he wouldn't even touch it. And if he knew that you drank out of it, he'd start dry heaving right away. To watch you, you're not drinking out of that anymore. We're back to that.
Yeah,
To watch him interact with his daughter and see that now he understands nothing matters except that baby. And the way that you treat your little baby girl is just incredible. I love watching it. I love watching you. I love going to your work and watching you bartend. It's incredible to listen to the Davisms flying out of your mouth, because you're handling the crowd like your dad does on the boat, and it's pretty fun to watch you. You do a phenomenal job when you're bartending. Okay, we got a few minutes left here. We got about 15 minutes left. If you have any questions that you want to ask Sean about, we're only going to have him. He's probably not going to be on the show again for a very, very long time. So think about if you got something, because this was hard to even get him on the show. The only reason he's even on the show is because Jewel got home right before we went live.
I remembered probably my favorite menu for the past couple of years was going on the cruise for my birthday. I always spend my birthdays with my dad, but we went on a cruise down to Mexico. Cancun, Belize, Honduras, Cozumel, or something. I don't know. All over Cozumel. That was fun. So me, my girl Kelly, and my dad, we all went. And that was some of the funnest times. We went zip lining and played with monkeys and sloths. So that was a good time that doesn't revolve around fishing, but it seems like most of the time we always have a rod in our hand or something. We're doing something. So probably today we're going to go fishing. So we'll see. I don't know.
Right here, what is your greatest memory of Dana War sport fishing?
I mean, probably when I was a kid. I mean, 1st through 6th grade, we would always do whale watching trips and stuff. So anybody that was in my class, we would take them. So everybody wanted to be in my class because it was just my class that went. It wasn't the whole 1st grade, the whole 5th grade, whatever. It was just my class that went. And for my grandpa to put that on and sponsor that kind of thing that was pretty cool. And just all the stuff he's done for the community and kids growing up and war heroes and all that cool stuff. So that's pretty cool at Dana Wharf. So yeah, that's pretty much what I got to say on that. Huh? Every training where you just leave Dave Heiner. I mean, is there any diaper training before you just leave Dave high and dry? I mean, yeah. I'll show him. You pull this tab here and pull that tab there. I mean, I don't know. He'll have to figure it out.
Oh my God!
I didn't get an owner's instruction.
I think we'll be able to pull it off. The number one thing is which direction to wipe.
Yep.
Okay. What is the target fish in Lake Tahoe?
Probably Mackinaw or kokanee salmon. Mackinaw or kokanee. Those are the two big in the lake.
Sean, do you have a fishing rod that you got when you were little that you'll pass on to your daughter?
I mean, I did, but I don't have it anymore. So now we'll get her a little one. She'll be fishing in a year or so. There's a cool little sawmill pond right out here that just for kids to fish in. So she'll be there next year fishing with me, having fun.
Cool. I don't even know about that.
That's 14. You can't be older than 14 to fish there.
I think Zaya falls into that.
I think so.
I think she falls into that. Gang, we got about 10 more minutes. We got to just have to spend so much time with your dad as you can because he'll be your best friend for life.
He already is.
So, gang, if you got any more questions, we'll run real quick over while we're waiting in case some more questions come in. We got the game plans coming out at 3:30 this afternoon on Your Saltwater Guide. If you're not a member of the website, I don't know what you're waiting for. I don't know why you're standing on the sidelines because there's so much cool stuff going on right now. So many bitch and fish just got back into the loop here with that storm Hillary that just came through. Sean, remember Dorado fishing when you were little, going out on Uncle Mark's boat?
Yeah, that was really fun.
There's a lot of Dorado in Southern California right now, gang. If you don't know where they're at, or you want to know where they're at, or you want to know how to catch them, Your Saltwater Guide, we give you everything you need to be successful. You want to check out yoursaltwaterguide.com. Like Sean was talking about, my dad started this fishing thing back in 1947. I've been able to carry it along. My children have had the opportunity of being involved in this fishing thing. Gang, it changes your relationship with your children when you can go out fishing with them, or you can take your grandchildren out fishing. Fishing is just a phenomenal way to connect going out. I mean, Sean and I have been talking about it for 2 days here, getting Zaya out on the water, going and catching her a trout.
Fish.
We want to go get her a little trout before Grandpa has to go back to Cabo, right? I mean, that's how special fishing is to both of us. It matters, and we think Zaya's she's gonna end up with the bug like us. Gang, check out my website, yoursaltwaterguide.com. We only got a couple days left here for the big contest to where you got a chance to win a $200. We're going to give away $200 to one lucky person that takes a picture wearing one of my shirts, one of Your Saltwater Guide shirts, picture of your fish. If you go look at our website or look across social media, you'll see quite a few people are involved in this contest. You still have an opportunity to win. We're going to give away the $200 on September 1st. I'll be back in Cabo. Kelly's going to pick the name out of the hat, and we're going to give away $200. So don't miss out on that. We got another question coming in here. And Sean, I free up trout fishing in Southern California. Is there good trout fishing in Tahoe, and do you fish for them?
Yeah. I mean, here and there, mainly with my dad, but we've been fly fishing out towards Kirkwood, random person's ranch, remember that? Crawling through.
Oh, yeah. There's
Brooks
good.
and Browns and little
You
rainbows.
and your brother probably caught 50 trout that day.
Mm-hmm. It's fun.
Sneaking on private land.
Yeah. I'm still trying to catch a golden trout with my buddy, so we have one trip planned in like a month to go up there and hike around. But yeah, still fish a little bit. But Zaya will have a rod in her hand next year.
Your dad taught my daughter how to fish. You're gonna let him teach yours?
Yeah, I mean,
absolutely.
So will I. But yes, so will he. So it'll be fun.
Oh yeah, Dave Burris. A lot of good times.
And Zaya will be down in Cabo on a boat soon. So get the passport probably a month or so, and then we'll be down there. You gotta wait for slow season up here, but
we gotta wait till the temperature comes down a little bit.
I think we're gonna go for her. I know, October. I think we're gonna go for Zaya's birthday. We're gonna go down there.
Woohoo!
Zaya's first birthday.
So we'll have to do a live show from Cabo.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. So Sean will be back on the show eventually someday.
About 2-3 months.
So gang, I hope this enlightened you a little bit about my son's life and what he's up to and what's going on up here in beautiful Lake Tahoe. If you have an opportunity to come up here to Lake Tahoe, please make sure you go check out Sean and Jewel. They both run pretty successful places. Sean, let everybody know where you're at so they can stop by and say hi to you.
The Hard Rock Hotel and Casino, and then I'm at Alpine Union Bar and Grill. And Jewel is over at Naked Fish Sushi and Bar 62. She's the general manager of both spots. So yeah, come check us out.
Gang, you won't be disappointed. You show up at that Naked Fish. The food is phenomenal. And if you show up at my son's bar, let him know you saw him on Your Saltwater Guide. Let him know. Maybe he'll put a little extra in your cocktail.
Yeah, if you're wearing a Your Saltwater Guide shirt, you get a free drink.
Holy Christ. If
Free
you get
drink,
a free
drink on me.
cocktail for wearing one of my shirts, doesn't get any better than that. And you can always have my cocktail. I have no problem with that. You can have mine. Gang, I want to thank Sean for being a part of the show today. It was really special for me to have my son on the show. I've been looking forward to this since Kelly Girl bought my ticket to come up here. Kelly Girl, Sean and I want to thank you very, very much for allowing us to be together.
Love you, Kelly.
Because Kelly Girl made this all happen because she's sitting at home right now with the monkey and the kitties. We can't leave both of us at the same time. It's almost impossible because the monkey can't be by himself. So this is all made possible by my beautiful wife, Kelly Girl. Thank you very, very much, Kelly. Gang, if you have one more question, we'll wait for you. If you have something. If you have something you want to talk about, real quick, got a few minutes and we got to get going. We got a bunch of stuff to do up here. Anybody? Anybody?
I saw one up there. Who's taller?
Sean's way taller. Here, look, stand up. It doesn't even compare.
I'm 6'3", so.
And I'm 5'11", 5'10". So yeah, he's much taller. And then his brother's even taller than both of us. His brother is 6'4", 6'5",
6'5".
6'5". He's a giant human being. All right, gang, I got to pick one lucky person to win that shirt. Let's see. Stay with us. Don't fall off. Any more questions popping up on the screen, Sean?
Hey, we shrink with age. Yeah. Well, I was taller than my dad real early.
Yeah, you were taller than me right away. Come on. I'm trying. Trying. Keep going. All right, Daniel Leonis. You won. Thank you very much. That was a great question. I appreciate it. Daniel, send me your email or your address and your shirt size. Gang, tomorrow we have a phenomenal guest with us. We have Brian from Finding Demo podcast. He's a phenomenal surf fisherman. He's going to be coming to us with some great things to talk about surf fishing in the Midwest, on the Gulf Coast, Midwest. What am I talking? Surf fishing on the Gulf Coast. Where it's going to be a great show. Don't miss it. You're going to get to learn a lot about some different types of fishing that I'm not a privy to. Just like when we had Bill Varney on here a couple weeks ago. We're trying to diversify. It's your saltwater guide. It isn't mine. It's all of ours. So we're trying to always bring in special new guests, showing us something different, talking about something different. So thank you all very, very much for the show. Thanks for taking your time to talk to my son, ask him some cool questions. We both appreciate it. We love you. Keep watching. Those of you on YouTube, make sure you hit the like button and the subscribe button. It is super important. It's super important to hit the like button, the subscribe button. Follow us on all social media. If you're tired of sucking at fishing, sign up to our website, yoursaltwaterguide.com. Thank you very much for being on the show, Sean. Thank you. It was a struggle, man. It was a struggle. You have no idea what went into this, folks.